My dear friends, welcome to LivesBerg Enterprise. Today we have with us a versatile and highly competent educationist with 22 years of experience in the field of education. She has established multiple exciting benchmarks in education management. Apart from heading the team of curriculum writers rolling out K-12 curriculum based on experiential and skill-based learning, she was the resource person for CBSE and conducted CCE trainings in schools across several states in India. She had served Shalom Presidency as Dean, Principal at Alpine School, Principal at Presidium School. She strongly believes in the quote by Robert John, "Teaching children is an accomplishment. Getting children excited about learning is an achievement." Join me in learning from her life journey, which she started from being a giving teacher to the headmistress and to the head of the school. Help me in welcoming Veena Gaur, principal at VIBGYOR High School, Gurgaon. We are really interested to know about your life, your childhood, your school times, and about you.
Okay. Uh, Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for coming and talking to me. I'm really grateful. Thank you again. All right. So, about me, I had a good childhood. My parents were caring. Happy childhood, I would say. But about in my schooling, my college, I would say that people, even my students, they think that I have been a very, very bright student and extraordinary and I know everything. But that is not the case. We teachers, if you actually see that most of them are not very bright. At least this was not the case with me. I had been a very, very average student, a timid, not outgoing kind of a person, very shy. Over a period of time and with the help of my teachers, I could become what I am today. What my parents have taught me, what I learnt from the people whom I used to look up to. Because of that, I am today what I am.
All right. So when you talk about your childhood, what kind of self-doubts you carried? What kind of lack you carried in your heart? What were kind of your self-thoughts or self-talking was?
Okay, so as a child, as I said that I was, I see actually what kind of childhood you live. There are many children I've seen, they are low esteemed. I was also one of them. Many times this kind of feeling used to come in me that I am incomplete, I'm inferior, I'm slow, I'm stupid, and I'm a loser. These kind of feelings, I think it comes in mind of every child. Sometimes you think that, yes, you can't do it. And the same kind of thing happens used to with me. And those days, I would say that parents, when I was a child, parents were not so much aware. They used to be busy in their life. I could not actually share a lot of things with my parents. And I also would say that I did not have many friends who could guide me. I would say that I would mostly socially withdrawed.
Okay.
And low self-esteem, I would say. But things happened in my life which I would say that there were some people who could motivate me, who believed in me, who had brought me away from the inferiority complex which I had. So I would say I was very bad in maths. I never thought that I'm going to even pass, going to get marks which would take me to the next grade. One of my maths teacher, she asked me to write something on the board. I said, I cannot. I will not be able to solve. She said, why don't you come in front? Okay, she was the one who had actually encouraged me and she said, yes, you can do it. And today I'm very thankful to her that she believed in me. She was the one who made me overcome all my lower part of what I thought was. And I thought that I'll never do it. So I was very, very afraid of my failures. But I would like to tell all the people who are listening to me, I would like to tell them that we should never afraid of a failure. Failure is the first step of your success.
Wonderful. Very beautifully said. Very beautifully said. So, what was the span of this period until you met your teacher? So, how many years? Which class to what class?
I think once I started the schooling, I used to hate going to school.
Okay, all right. And now you're a school principal.
Yes. Because of this, my low self-esteem. There was no motivation. I met this teacher when I was in grade 6 or 7.
Okay.
After that, I think it was an overall change
Okay.
in my personality.
All right.
I also would like to share something when I was a school teacher. I was also, again, a bad speaker.
Okay.
My communication skill was not all that good. My principal, she asked me to give a presentation in front of the society, DPS society. I said, I'll not be able to do it because I don't have that much of confidence. She said, no, you will be able to do it. I said, I can't. She made me stand there and it was complete flat.
Okay.
I could not do it.
All right. Okay.
And then when I reached home, I kept on thinking that why I did it. I shouldn't have. But that was the time I actually thought that I have to overcome this fear. And I have to be the best in the public speaking.
Wonderful.
Then I told my principal, would you give me another chance? And then I practiced, and the next presentation I gave was the best presentation it could ever happen in the school.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. I mean, I really appreciate you, ma'am, that so openly you are accepting your low self when you were a kid. However, this is going to really help the kids of schools and colleges and even job professionals for that matter, that yes, there are stages when we were low, but then the best message which I can hear from this example is that yes, I failed. I was standing over there, but then I did not leave it there and then.
Yes.
I practiced and I just proved myself. And it's not primarily to prove it to others.
Yes.
But it's kind of self-development.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. That I can do it. Now that was I can do it.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
What kind of comments did you hear from your peers when you were in school, primarily until 6th class?
I was completely rejected by people.
Okay.
Even by my parents.
All right.
They used to say, no, she's good for nothing. She will not be able to do anything in life. You are a failure. You are a loser. So these kind of comments I used to listen from others until I met the teacher. I think everybody needs motivation, encouragement in life. So you need to find the right person who can do that. Or by luck you get somebody like that. So I think that is something which everybody needs. And when I'm at this stage, I always make it a point that I motivate my students, my teachers, and my other staff. Little bit of encouragement can change the life of a person.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I have fallen for you. I mean, it really need guts to accept. I mean, that is past, but still you're openly accepting. I'm in love with you. I'm telling you the truth. All right. Yeah. So this was the outside motivation, which we get to hear, which we also tell our kids, do things right, do things correctly. This is not the right thing. However, I'm absolutely sure that there was something from within.
Yeah.
Some kind of self-talk was there.
Yes.
What do you think those self-talks or something from inside was there which kids can also apply in their life?
Yes. So what I believed in, that I need to continuously learning throughout my life. Even today, I believe that the learning is a lifelong process. You can't stop that. The day you think that you have stopped learning, you are dead.
Absolutely.
So one thing I believe that I need to learn, I used to read a lot when I used to feel very lonely, alone, low esteemed. I used to feel that I need to read. So I used to read all the books which are inspiring. So I actually thought I used to do a lot of searching, researching new things, how to be efficient, how to be faster, how to achieve more things. So this is what I used to do it.
All right.
Secondly, I always wanted to push myself beyond my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I thought, that to be successful, to overcome my weaknesses, I thought that I have to just push myself more to be successful. Another thing, I try to surround myself with the people who will motivate me, who will encourage me all the time, rather than people who used to reject me. I used to be away from them because they are the one who used to send negativity.
Right, right.
So these are the three things I thought that I must follow in my life to grow, to overcome my weaknesses.
All right. So, where did you get this learning that reading is actually going to help you? Because I completely agree. Reading is the best thing. Learning is the best gift we can give to ourselves at any age. But where did you get this message from? Where did you get this encouragement that I need to push myself? And this is a mindset shift which I can understand.
Yeah.
That yes, I am being rejected, I'm low in my self-esteem, but I can change it just by working on myself. Where did you get this idea and this shift from?
Well, I would say that when I was in grade 6 or grade 7, and I used to watch some movies, again read few books, learnt about the successful people, read their autobiographies. I thought, when they can do it, why can't I do it?
Wonderful.
So that motivation come from within me. Yes, there were people, as I said, that I was surrounded by the people who motivated me. So this is what I learned from.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
What are 3 exclusive habits which make you different from your peers? Or what are 3 exclusive habits maybe you do every morning or every day to ensure that you're pepped up and you're ready to face the challenges of the day?
All right. So believing in myself is the most thing I think is what motivates me. When I think, yes, I can do it, the thing which I used to think that I'll never be able to do it. So believing again in myself, which changed my personality completely. I started believing myself. Now also I believe it. I take challenges. I know that's a tough thing. I'll not be able to do it. But I go in that side. I do not believe in being somewhere in the comfort zone. I always, again, push myself to come out of the comfort zone and do something which is tough, which is challenging, which others can't do it. I do not shy away from taking those challenges.
All right, ma'am. So the next thing we are really interested to know is, what are the biggest challenges you foresee for our youth and kids in near future, say 2030?
Okay. So I think if we talk about the challenges of youth today, is choosing the right thing to go and get from the social media and from the internet.
Right.
So there are so many things which are which is available, and child needs to know where they should go and where they should not be going, which is actually becoming very challenging for them. Another thing is the peer pressure and the expectation of parents. That is something, they are not able to face. Parents, they expect a lot from them. What parents could not do in their life, they want to see that the child should be doing for them, which is very wrong. And I think somehow we have to stop that.
Right.
So what I do is, I do a lot of workshops with my parents, existing parents, and we keep giving them the ideas that how we should get away from this. Do not pressurize your child, which he or she does not want to do. So I think these are the few challenges I think we need.
Wonderful.
Students are facing.
So robots are becoming more and more human by understanding how we perform. They are learning AI. And we humans are becoming more and more robotic. If we think about how we start our day, it's the same pattern we follow every day.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about this?
I think what you said is very right, and it is really coming that robots are replacing the humans, and humans are becoming more robo because of the kind of lifestyle and the system we have. I'm not too sure that how do we get away from this and make more people more. I think the difference between robots and human is the emotional intelligence.
True. Absolutely.
That thing is not there in the robot. And I think the same kind of thing is happening with our children. They are becoming more robotic because the emotional intelligence which is there is getting decreasing for whatever the reason might be. I think we as adults, we are the one who can address this. We as educators, as parents, we need to give that emotional quotient to our children so that they do not become the robots, and they have the kind of life which is not expected that our children should be leading. So we are to be blamed if it is happening, and we are the one who can correct it.
Wonderful. So we interviewed 500 professionals, including teachers, lawyers, engineers, and asked them what percentage of what they studied in their school they are using in their current education system. And the answer was 0 to 1%.
Yes.
Only doctors said the 8% we are using in our current job.
Yes.
So how can we change this pattern?
Yes. For doctors, I would say it should be percentage more because they are using, but I think in other professions, it's lesser than that. What I studied in my life, in my textbooks, I'm not using any of these things. It is your thinking, your mindset, what you have learned, the kind of skills you have acquired during your childhood or in your education time. I think that is something, which is working and which can make a person successful. So same thing we should be doing in our students or in our children. We should be giving them those kind of skills rather than what is written in the textbooks. What is there in the textbooks is just these days is a button away. Everything is there on internet. So only acquiring knowledge or the textual knowledge is not going to be sufficient for the future children, because the time is changing. The world has changed 360 degrees. Similarly, our education system should also be changing. We should not be giving only those textual knowledge because it's not going to be useful anywhere. We should be in fact giving them those kind of set skills which will be required tomorrow when they grow up.
Wonderful, very wonderful. The current education system is as old as 185 years old. And indeed, the delivery of education has changed, but just kind of we are delivering the same old thing with the new garnishing and new presentation. So what my parents studied, I studied the same thing. My kid is studying the same. So what do you have to say? How can we bring change in the education system?
See, education system changing is not in our hand. It is the government who is changing. But the way we deliver has to change. Again, I would say that we should be equipping them with those kind of set skills by using the same curriculum but delivering in a different. I'll give you one small example. I would say that I happened to be in one of the class, observing the class. The teacher was teaching them the story of that fox going and jumping and eating. You also must have. And that story we are listening from years and years.
Decades and decades. Right.
What I thought to myself that what the child is learning by listening to that story. Just a moral of the story which is going away from their head. Like that above their head. They were not able to know the meaning of the moral. When I asked those children, I said, okay, had you been that fox, what you would have done?
Wonderful.
You won't believe those kids came up with such good answers.
I'm sure.
They said we would have brought ladder, we would have climbed on each other and taken the grapes.
Wonderful.
and would have eaten. We wouldn't have been hungry. So we need to give those children those kind of questions so that they use their critical thinking.
Right.
This is how we develop the critical thinking in students. This is what we do with our students in our school.
Wonderful.
We are teaching them the same story, the same thing, but in a different way.
Right.
So the child is thinking out of the box.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is really amazing. I happened to notice when I was sitting outside at the reception that I was reading this book, which consisted of stories from the kids of your school.
Yes.
This was really different.
Yes.
I loved it. We are really interested to know what other, maybe 1 to 5 things you are doing differently to ensure that that creative bend and imagination is coming out.
See, our school is doing things very differently. We are looking at the holistic development of a child. We are not making them only what is given in the books. Along with giving them the strong academics, we have sports. Our children who have passed VIBGYOR, they had been good sports people. They had been professionals in music, in dance. They are being writers, they are being poets. So we look at the holistic development of a child by giving them, making them these other professions.
Wonderful. Well, this was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. I especially love this interview because you are so open.
Yes.
It really takes courage to accept our deficiencies, but then you are at such a stage and you know everybody would be listening, but still you're fearless. This gives an inspiration to us also to be who we are within, to be outside also. So this was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sure you all have learned many things from Veena Mam's life. We hope these learning patterns and behaviors of successful people is helping you in growing and taking better decisions in your life as it is helping us in doing so. If you want to inspire kids and youngsters with your success patterns and want to share those patterns with others, share your details with us on team@livesberg.com. Or if you know some school or college student who is extraordinary and want to nominate themselves for the interview, write to us at team@livesberg.com. Thank you so much for joining us.